Did human language begin in the Caucasus Mountains? It's a question as ancient as our species, and one that leads us into the highlands of Georgia, Dagestan, Chechnya, and Adige, where tongues older than empires are still spoken. In this rugged cradle of civilization, a staggering diversity of languages has survived the test of time. Some of these languages are so complex, so unique, so unrelatable to any others that many scholars wonder, could this be the very birthplace of human speech? Today we'll journey through deep valleys and deeper time to explore how this mountain region, rich with mystery and memory, may hold the keys to humanity's old conversation. Here, between the Black and Caspian Seas, stands a region known as the Mountain of Tongues. The Caucasus, a place where more languages are spoken per square kilometer than anywhere else on Earth. Not dialects, not accents, entire language families. We speak of Kartvelian, the family that includes Georgian and its sister tongues, Svan, Megrelian, Laz, of Northeast Caucasian like Chechen, Avar, Lesgian, languages with a distinct number of cases and consonants, and Northwest Caucasian, home to Circassian, perhaps the most phonetically complex languages on the planet. These three families are not related. It's as if in this isolated cradle of stone and snow, three separate linguistic lineages survived, like living fossils of speech. Let's begin with Svan, a language spoken by only a few thousand in the high valleys of northern Georgia. Its grammar is archaic, preserving structures that even other Kartvelian languages lost thousands of years ago. Linguists often call it a linguistic museum. In a world moving fast, the Svans have moved slowly, and in doing so may have preserved echoes of some of our earliest human expressions. Then there is Circassian, a language with over 60 consonants and just 2 vowels. How do you build speech from that? And yet for thousands of years, these mountain people have told stories, sung songs, held ceremonies, all in a language that defies simplicity. Some scholars believe these features are not recent quirks. They may be remnants of pre-agricultural speech, far older than Indo-European or Semitic tongues. Now comes the controversial part. Could these languages, Svan, Circassian, Chechen, be direct descendants of humanity's first attempts at structured communication? The idea sounds radical, but consider this. The earliest human migration routes passed directly through the Caucasus. Archaeological finds like Dmanisi in Georgia, dated to 1.8 million years ago, show that early Homo erectus settled here well before they entered Europe. The region remained habitable during the Ice Ages, a refuge for human populations, while others perished or moved. And what do humans bring wherever they go? Language. In the 20th century, a group of linguists proposed something audacious. What if languages from the Caucasus, particularly North Caucasian languages, were distantly related to languages across the globe? Languages like Basque in Spain, Burushaski in Pakistan, Sino-Tibetan including Chinese, and Dene of North America like Navajo. They called it the Dene Caucasian macrofamily. Could it be that 15 to 30,000 years ago, a proto-language spoken in or near the Caucasus gave birth to these global tongues? The idea remains on the fringe. Mainstream linguists urge caution, but the patterns are there. In pronoun, word roots, and syntactic structures. What if the first whispers of humanity did not vanish, but spread like rivers, reaching from the Caucasus to Siberia, to China, to Alaska? Around 3700 BC, a mysterious culture emerged in the Caucasus foothills, the Maikop culture. They buried their dead in elaborate kurgans, crafted golden ornaments, and possibly spoke one of the ancient Caucasian languages. Maikop is now considered one of the earliest high cultures of the Old World. Some scholars even suggest it influenced the later Indo-Europeans to the north, rather than the other way around. In its ruins, we find signs not only of wealth, but of language, encoded in tools, ritual, trade, and migration. Today, most linguists agree language likely emerged gradually among Homo sapiens around 50,000 to 100,000 years ago. There is no evidence of a single first language, no Rosetta Stone of humanity's original speech. However, the Caucasus remains one of the best preserved language zones on Earth, a refugium where languages isolated by mountains survived waves of conquest, colonization, and extinction. In that sense, the languages here may preserve sounds and structures far older than most of the world. They may not be the first, but they may be the closest we'll ever hear to our beginnings. Today, many of these languages are endangered. Young Svans and Megrelians are switching to Georgian, young Laz to Turkish. Circassian speakers dwindle. Chechen and Lasgian face cultural pressure and political suppression. And with each disappearing tongue, we lose not just words, but worldviews, histories, and perhaps even the very echoes of our first human voice. If we want to understand where language came from, we must protect where it survived. The Caucasus may yet teach us not only where we came from, but who we really are. So, did human language begin in the Caucasus Mountains? Maybe not in the absolute sense. Language likely emerged gradually and in different places. But the Caucasus remains one of the last places on Earth where ancient linguistic systems have not just survived, but thrived, protected by time, terrain, and tradition. In every whispered Svan lullaby, every Chechen proverb, every Lasgian epic, there is a faint echo of the very first human words. And if you are searching for the oldest language still spoken, the closest living link to humanity's original voice, the Caucasus Mountains might just be where the trail begins. If you enjoyed this journey into the deep past, like, share, and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.